So, hello, good people. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrats Deke, the Black Yule Brenner, and he just told me of something that we're gonna discuss. Okay, and the Demetra K Show. The purpose of that is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community, to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Also, like to say a big hello and giant welcome and thank you to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants, because we do share the link for you to come up and, ask a quick question or make quick commentary. All I ask is, if I have not seen you before on here, please show me your face if you do not want to be seen before I bring you up on the big screen. Really just to make sure there is no shenanigans going on. Today, we are going to discuss Carlee Russell finally, via her attorney, admitting that she made the whole thing up. And her ex-boyfriend, Thomar, is disgusted by her actions. And Donovan also, right before we came on here, alerted me of a Barbie movie backlash. And I'm like, is you serious? And I looked, and he's serious. There is backlash over the Barbie movie, and it's from men. But we'll get into that as best we can. We won't be here that long because Donovan has to dart off and do something. So we'll be here about an hour and 20 minutes. Anyway, 2 cents, how you doing? You say she still could be traumatized and brainwashed with fear, or holding up her promise gave to abductors not to tell. Oh, okay. So you're thinking maybe something really did happen to her. D. Griffin, how you doing? Love and light to you as well. Rain, how are you? And King Chris, how are you doing today? Thank you so much. Donovan, what say you before we get the ball rolling?
Before I get the ball rolling, I say welcome to our co-hosts out there. We thank you guys. We love you guys that come back and engage with us and make this channel grow as much as it is. It's because of you guys that are coming in and making the channel really great. But do not forget, please, as you're on your way in, hit that like button, and sometimes even hit the subscribe button. It won't help. It won't hurt, because Demetra K is growing on her platform. And don't forget to check out Phil Scott and the African Diaspora News Channel network, people that are all over there as well. This is a very, very interesting thing right now, because you've got all kinds of people that have an opinion on it. And in my consensus of what I've been hearing in the YouTube chatter world, there's almost a unanimous consensus that, this was a really, really bad thing, that Carlee did. And everybody's kind of saying it was jacked up. But again, you have some people that say, well, maybe she was still traumatized. And, that's an opinion. I don't know how you could be traumatized when it was pre-thought. How do you traumatize something that was pre-thought of? There was no abductor. There just wasn't. But go ahead. And let's get into this. We want to hear your comments. Jimmy James, all the way from Nuremberg, Germany. Welcome back, my brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's get into it, Demetra, because I want to get to that Barbie thing, because God, it chaps my hide that you women keep up with this stuff. Y'all keep messing around with this. We're going to shut this whole thing down. But let's get into this right here before we get into the other one.
King of Sorrows, how you doing? Let's see who else came on here. Angela, Tammy, and let me see. Yahosef, how you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show y'all a video of the press conference of, I guess, a lead detective, and he is going to give us the rundown if you haven't already seen it. And this is in regards to Carlee Russell. Here it is.
Thanks to everyone for attending again today. I want to thank the members of our department and all of law enforcement who played a role in the investigation of this case. Last Wednesday, July 19th, we held a press conference and provided you with the facts of the Carlee Russell disappearance. We told you the investigation was ongoing, and we helped you determine where Carlee was during the 49 hours of her disappearance. Today I've talked to and received a statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carlee Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carlee to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement in its entirety, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone during the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carlee, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a
So y'all heard it there. The detective there says, basically Carlee via her attorney, Emery Anthony, said she made it all up there. And none of the stuff that she said was true. What I found interesting is that she said in that letter a couple of times that nobody helped me. She wasn't at the hotel with anybody. She was all by herself type of thing. And I still have my doubts about that. But nevertheless, she, admitted to making it all up. Now, throughout that press conference, people were asking, well, because her attorney is a criminal defense attorney, and people were asking, well, are you guys bringing charges? And he said, well, that's not for us. It's for the DA to decide if they're going to do that or not. So I don't know if they've decided today. They were supposed to have a meeting as to what is actually going to go on. They also asked how much did it cost to do that? And he says they don't have a number right now, but he said it was all hands on deck. Everybody was looking for her. So with that, you can ascertain that it was a lot of money involved in that. But moving on with that, her ex-boyfriend, who many are saying they believe that he is the reason that she, went missing per se or took off, is maybe they broke up. She was distraught over him. I don't know yet. Nevertheless, while she was missing for that 49 hours, people were asserting that he may have had something to do with her disappearance. And so he says, no, I didn't have anything to do with it or anything like that. And so once she came out and said with this, I lied. I made it all up. He made the following statement. I was made aware of the false narrative after coming to the defense of my ex, Carlee Russell. Myself and my family's nature was to react in love and genuine concern. We are disgusted from the outcome of this entire situation. I strongly feel exactly like you all, blindsided with Carlee's actions. And so before, when she was allegedly missing, he went on the defensive and said, hey, you guys are bullying her. Stop doing that. He dedicated a lot of time himself to try to find her. And, he went online just basically standing up for her. And, again, found out it wasn't true. And so he is disgusted, as he should be. Now, at this moment, authorities have not said publicly what the motive may have been, because y'all remember last week they said something was going on with her mind state and they didn't want to share that right at the moment. They wanted to, give her privacy. So obviously something was going on. I guess maybe something they saw within her text messages. And so I guess it's now still at the point of what are they going to do? Are they going to press charges? Which a lot of people are saying that they should. It sounds like her job fired her because everybody at the job was concerned. They were looking, in addition to, it sounds like she stole some money about of the cash register. So, the man, the owner of the spa that she worked at, and she's a nursing student, by the way, the owner of the spa says, well, if I found out that she went up off in my tilt, I'm pressing charges. So sounds like somebody gonna get her, either way. Doesn't sound like she will not be held responsible. So I guess I don't know what else we really can say. Donovan actually wanted to talk about this, touch upon it. So let me see here. Al, I saw you say, who is Carlee Russell? She is the 25-year-old Black woman that allegedly went missing on the 13th of July. And everybody and their mama was looking for her, posting about it. And it turns out it was a hoax on her end. She staged the whole event. The motive is not known at this moment, but nevertheless, authorities knew she was lying because they looked in her phone records and they saw that she had Googled the movie Taken. How do you take money from a cash register at work without getting caught? And just different things to let them know, okay, she wasn't taken, she left. So that's where we are. So Donovan?
Well, like I said, I like going into the chat, and King Chris Lord, he has some good comments on it in regards to me and him are going back and forth in the chat. Unfortunately, a lot of people are misinformed. The Secret Service, yeah, they were brought in, but they do not have a mandate to protect anybody but the president and Treasury situations. That's who they work for. Look at their mission statement. A lot of people think because, oh, it's a Secret Service and it's federal and this is that. No, the Secret Service is specific to the presidential detail and Treasury Department issues. That is their main mandate. They are not mandated to do it. They had no jurisdiction. Can they be brought in to help and use some of their resources? Absolutely. However, this was a political stunt done by Kamala Harris to bail out her sororo so she can get points if this turned out to be to be a real thing. But now, because she used those resources to help her sororo out, now Kamala's got egg on her face because she used resources that she should have never used. Now it looks really, really bad as a political stunt on her aspect. But one thing we can agree on, and I think everybody agrees on this, with human trafficking being a real thing and children being taken all the time, and especially Black children and Black women being abducted and nobody saying a word, for this to happen, finally get light shed on a Black woman's plight, that something has actually happened and all these resources have been used, it makes, and I'm not going to say all women, I'm not trying to generalize here, but you guys follow me a little bit here. It makes women look bad now because now they say, believe all women. What? No, believe all women. There's so many incidences where this is happening. The question is, what should be her punishment? A lot of people say, well, she has mental illness and whatever. Still, resources were used. A lot of things have to be done. If somebody is going to use the R and falsely accuse somebody of R, shouldn't that person face the same penalties in regards to what that person who was accused of it be accused of? And like I said, if she has mental illness or whatever, that's neither here nor there. We're not experts. But I do feel since resources were used, she has to face some kinds of consequences in regards to financial aspect of what people came out to do. Taxpayer dollars was used. But it's so sad that, human trafficking is a real thing. And it's incidences like this that make people think it's a joke. So, we have to show that we're going to take this type of stuff seriously. And if there's no consequences, they're going to continue to do the same thing over and over again. And that's another problem our younger people are having. They do things with no consequences. That's the problem.
So I just want to just ask you about something you said. You said, so because she was AKA sorority, and so is Kamala. So you're saying that Kamala used federal resources to find Carlee? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that factually. That's what I think it is, because show me in any history of abduction, who was that lady in the 70s that got that white woman, that heiress that got abducted?
Patty Hearst.
They didn't even use the Secret Service for that because that isn't what their task is for.
Now, let me ask you this, this is the first time I've heard, the first time that I've heard about Secret Service. How do we know that Secret Service was involved?
A Secret Service was called in. If you look at the police investigation, they had asked him what resources when they were trying to look for it initially, and they had said that the Secret Service has been dispatched to use. Now, I don't know what capacity. It ain't like the Secret Service. I don't think the Secret Service was out there, shaking weeds. again, like you have the FBI, you have things, they might have used some of the secret sources resources, which does happen in law enforcement, you know.
So I just want to get a clarification. So do you say, because you said FBI as well, so what do you think, it was FBI or was it
No, Secret Service resources was dispatched in this situation, which definitely should not have been used. The Secret Service does not look for people. That is not their job. The FBI does it, or local police jurisdictions does it. The Secret Service's only job, tasked by law, is Presidential Detail and Treasury Department. That's it. That's it. They protect the money. That's it.
Okay, yeah, that's news to me. I want to address this comment. Faith, Hope, Love, how you doing? Says, let's not be judgmental. It's apparent that it was a cry for help, quote unquote. I pray she gets the help she needs. There was nothing normal about this act, and there are several underlying issues. I mean, I'm not being judgmental. Was it a cry for help? Yeah, it probably was. But I mean, at some point in time, we have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, you know, as a cry for help. But I think, too, when we find out what that cry for help was, then we could say, well, okay, well, this or that, right? But speculation, I want to be strong on the speculation, is that it has something to do with her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend. Now, if that was the case, I mean, does she get to do what she did? And really, for any reason, I can't see any reason why that would be acceptable for her to do that. So as far as saying let's not be judgmental, I don't even think that swims in the same river, only because a lot of people were asked to help look for her. So now on the other side of it, we get to not be judgmental or have a say-so or get to know what was going on. I don't think that's fair to, you know, raise the roof on the world and to say, I was just playing, and then say, go away, mind your business, you know? So I don't know. M, how you doing? Let's see here. Patrick, how you doing? It says the love of views, likes made the young lady do what she did. You know, but I don't know, because she wasn't on social media with it. So I don't know if I necessarily buy that. I do buy that maybe it has something to do with getting the attention of her, you know, ex-boyfriend. I don't know if he had broken up with her before then. But so the social media aspect of it, I don't know. Maybe it was like a high, like a 15 minutes of fame type of thing. But as far as the clicks and views, I'm not sure, because at the end of the day, that woman has ruined her life, right? So, and Angela said, I agree with you, Donovan. And Wilbur, how you doing? Says that at the very least, she should pay for the resources. Jailing her will only use more resources. Yeah, they're definitely probably going to try to make her pay. GLS, how you doing? Says a lot of our sisters have to understand they can't create a hoax like Susan Smith, Sherry Papini, and countless other gray girls and think they can get away with it. You're absolutely right. That's the type of stuff they do, and you know, people cry and stuff, and they shouldn't do it either. Nobody should do it, because there are truly people missing. And imagine how many people went missing on the day she did, and nobody even really knew about it or batted an eye, because everybody's focused on some woman that was snatched off of the freeway and concerned about a baby that, you know, obviously didn't exist. Now we know that now, but you know what I mean? Jessica Jackson, how you doing? Says, please not again with the mental illness. Tired of that excuse. Yeah. You know, because there's, I don't want to, you know, make light of mental illness, but there's a lot of people who are suffering from mental illness, but they have the capacity to say, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. And from what the authority said, that was premeditated. So when you have a mental illness, I would imagine, listen, I'm not an expert, that it's like a blind theory. It's a snap judgment. It's something that's just, you know, it's not something that's planned out. Thunder, you say, question, should we also be worried that they are able to look up our searches? Some people search. Might frequently show the word guilt being searched. I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, well, you know, have you guys ever been on your computer and you're sitting there and then the mouse starts moving and stuff like that? And that's the government looking into your computer. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. But see, we got to remember the Patriot Act gives them the right to do that. Now,
and who was that under?
That was under Bush. It was passed with the help of the Democrats that were in power in the House.
Specifically under Obama.
Right.
Remember when that whole little thing,
right.
Yeah, the thing came out. Well, we're not able to look into your cell phones and your data and stuff. And then they came out and said, yeah, but we only do it, and I'm paraphrasing, on an as needed basis type of thing.
Yeah, which is totally not true. If you're not at home, the Patriot Act gives the government the right to enter your home while you're not there, do whatever searches they want to do, and then leave. And you might not even know that they were there. And see, the Democrats ran on, oh, we got to stop the Patriot Act. We got to repeal the Patriot Act. We got to do all of this stuff. Why haven't they done it? The Patriot Act was initially done after 9/11. That's almost 20 years ago. It's still in effect to this very day.
And so, King Chris, you say the Hoover PD press conference stated that they brought in FBI, U.S. Marshal, and Secret Service. Okay, so Secret Service was on the scene. Now, let me ask y'all this. Is Secret Service being on the scene rare? Is that rare?
Well, King Chris says if you look at the duties of the Secret Service, he put the U.S. code. They're only there, again, they have facilities and things that they might be able to do forensically and stuff like that they can use. But to actually be on the ground and actually do searching, no, I don't think they did any of that. But they shouldn't have been used in this case at all, because they don't search for average people. That isn't their job description. They're mostly for heads of state, diplomats, and things of that nature.
And Patrick, I totally agree with you. You said this conversation is nonsensical and the dead horse has been beaten. Whatever comes her way is what it is. Make it make sense. I totally agree with you. But Donovan wanted to touch on it. But we are going to shift to something even, in my opinion, more ridiculous. But let me skip down to the end so that I can do that. And Dimple Facey says they're considering letting Susan Smith out for the same thing, but she killed 2 children and blamed it on the black man. Yep, I did hear that. Was it South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, ran her children into a river and then, said a black man hijacked her and, all that kind of stuff. All right. And so Sean, he says, well, they put up a false Amber Alert for white people every day, regardless if they went for a walk. Yeah, but, none of it is acceptable because, again, there's a lot of people who are missing, like for real. And, people out there playing games, right? Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to skip down. Now, a lady, how are you doing? Says she needs Cindy to help her stop being a pick-me mammy. Oh, Lord have mercy. You know, brought Cynthia G into the chat. All right. Brother Samuel, how you doing? It says there's definitely a double crisis between black and white. When white gets in opioid, it's an opioid crisis. If blacks get the N-word and hang them, if it's the black, get the N-word and hang them, is the attitude of white people is black flesh and white flesh. Police waste money every day. I think people should be glad she's not injured and have some sympathy as if she was white. No, I definitely think that people are glad that she is okay. I mean, it's pretty scary, right? Because I'm sure people in that community thought that there was some body snatcher on the loose or whatever, and they did say that our community is not in any danger in regards to what she said. So we definitely have empathy for her, but I think to some message, I just don't think she should get away with it clean. I heard in her apology, she said she was sorry, please forgive her. That all day long, right? But it's like, then what happens when somebody else does it? You know what I mean? I think any and everybody who does that, they should face some consequences, whether they have to pay the bill or, do some cleanup or volunteer somewhere. They should have to do something. It shouldn't be, because admittedly, she's ruined her life, right? Carlee Russell is the name that people will automatically tie to her lying about being abducted. So, and Robert, how you doing? Says, how come they can't tell us where she went? I mean, they have her and they have the video. Maybe they don't really know just yet. Then that's probably why they want to continue to interview her.
Do you know what's crazy about this? Remember, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, that girl that got frozen in the freezer in Chicago.
Tanika
Jenkins, and we did a story on that when it was actually happening. He had all the internet sleuths and stuff doing all that great stuff. And this is it kind of reminds me of that, where it kind of like it wakes the community up for a second and everybody's paying attention. And then when you're like, wow, it isn't what we thought it was, or maybe it was what we thought it was. And then you're just kind of like, damn,
A lady, you say Princella, is another good person to get women out of pick-me mode. I've never heard of Princella before. But when you say pick-me mode, from what I understand, a pick-me is somebody who, from what I understand it to be, cape for Black men, defend Black men. Is that where we're going with that? And Chris, you say, Demetra, this is called a statement in chess. God did this to commandeer the U.S. Brother Samuel said, I also saw a video of a supposed uncle that she said had problems for years, uncle by marriage. Okay, so some other stuff coming out. And Easy say her parents are $63,000 richer due to a GoFundMe. So they're getting a GoFundMe. A lady said some women will do anything for male attention. Just stop it. Let me skip down just a little bit. And then I want to pivot to the other topic. Patrick said this young lady's plight is not the fault of the Patriot Act. This was self-inflicted and done on her own terms. I totally agree with you. I think the authorities knew she was lying, so they was like, okay, let's check her whereabouts, right? Because they can do that. So yeah, you should be careful.
Right, and notice that they refuse to give that money back. They're like, no, we're still investigating. They're going to investigate until that money's exhausted.
Yeah, so they, they had a reason to look, I think. Common Man, how you doing? He says these Black women must understand Black people don't have the same status in this nation as others. We as people must accept the truth and stop pretending. Her act will hurt a lot of Black women. That is a real huge possibility. You're absolutely right. Brother Samuel said computer forensics teaches you how to follow the Fourth Amendment and go into computers and find delete files because they are still there. Also trace the true origin, ID emails, etc. I love the course. Yeah. You think just because you threw it away in your trash and you emptied the trash, that is gone, right? That's not necessarily true. But we should also be mindful of the things that we search for anyway.
Hillary Clinton put the blueprint in on how to get rid of information. Remember that server she had? You got to completely demolish it, take bullets to it, whatever you need to do. But you just can't let it just sit up there and think you got to. If you're doing stuff like that on the computer, your best bet is to put that computer up somewhere and just take shots at the hard drive and just kill it completely.
Experience. You said a woman in New Jersey was sentenced to 3 years in the state prison for faking a story about a homeless man and generated $400,000 of a GoFundMe. Carlee and her mother should go to prison. It's a fraud. Yeah, I remember who you're talking about. It was a woman and her husband, I think. They made up a story, if this is the one I'm thinking of, that she lost her very expensive wedding ring, and then the homeless guy found it and returned it. And they started a GoFundMe because they really wanted to do something nice for him. It did raise over $400,000. And then it was found out that they actually used the homeless man to defraud people who donated. So yeah, I remember that one. Emmy says 1,000 hours of community service for missing Black women. Yeah, I would be happy with that. The Prince of Paraphernalia says 3 hots in a cot are coming quickly. You think so? And Shawnee says, I don't think she committed a felony. I don't know. I mean, who knows, right?
Wait. In California, anything over $1,000 is considered what?
Grand larceny.
Grand larceny, which is a felony. Lower case. So, and all the resources that she used, I don't know what the law is in Alabama, but think about it. There's a certain threshold you meet before it becomes a felony. So much money you take before it becomes a felony. So, with all the resources that was expended.
Absolutely. Nikki Red, how you doing? You said she makes it bad for other missing Black people. I hope she gets some jail time. So yeah, a lot of people are saying she needs to, go missing for real behind some bars, Patrick says community outrage needs to be enlightened on how we, people of color, are still struggling with police brutality. We are begging for non-violence from police. We were rather in the 50s and 60s. Yes, indeed. On this show, we like to call ourselves Black people. but I get where you were going with that. Jessica, you say if Jussie Smollett got charged for a fake hoax, she should. Yes, he did. And from what I understand, he had to pay all that back too. It was like over $100,000 in resources that they used to find the people who allegedly did that to him. James and Ira Strange, how you doing? He says swatting is more dangerous and the people doing it not being charged. Yes, swatting is when somebody calls the police to your house on erroneous information, and they barge in with guns and all that other stuff in hopes of getting you harmed. So that's horrible. Yvette, how you doing? He says, I wonder how much she got paid to do this. I think this was an orchestrated distraction. Even knowing the truth, we don't stop speaking about it. Interesting. Anonymous B, how you doing? He says, have her fill all of the potholes in her city for free. Yeah, is she gonna be there forever? Especially if she was here in Houston. Common Man says, the way I understand it, that's a pick me. That a pick me is a black woman that sticks to and follows the traditional roles of the black woman in a traditional life. Yep. Okay, got it. And M says she's categorizing us as one big Negro, this race. All right. Okay. So in Eli, how you doing? Let me say this right. Eli Yahoo, and I probably said it wrong, but how you doing? It says, love y'all, almighty y'all. Bless, shalom, shalom. Same to you. All right, so let's see here. Chris, you say, no offense to y'all, but y'all need to read the Constitution and federal laws as well as state laws because those are your rights. I know some of them. I think I know. I think I know a fair amount. I do have a book in here, however, that I keep saying, you know what, one day when I have some downtime, which is never, that I am actually going to get really familiar with it. It's in my messy desk somewhere. I need to clean out once again. It's somewhere, but I do have a book of the Constitution. So anyway, from what I understand, we're going to shift gears. A lady says a pygmy is a female version of a simp. All right. Donovan, and as we were going to come on here, because I had a lot, we were actually going to do a podcast, but the internet, they were working on the internet here, so I didn't have internet. But anyway, he told me of Barbie backlash, that there's backlash in regards to the Barbie movie. And I guess there's some sort of propaganda, and that is down with patriarchy. And as I was reading about it, so Ben Shapiro, I guess he's a super right-wing type of person. I guess he went about burning some Barbie dolls for the patriarchy, the anti-patriarchy that went on in the movie. Matt Walsh, who's a very problematic congressman on the right, he said it's a man-hating movie. And Elon Musk says that if he had to take a shot for every time they mention the word patriarchy or, whatever in the movie, I guess you'd be drunk. Now, Barbie, the movie, the live action movie, I guess you can call it, is by Greta Gerwig. I never heard of her before, but apparently other people have. Margot Robbie, she, I guess, is playing Barbie. Issa Rae, she's one of the, I guess, Barbie's friends, and a couple other people, America Ferrera, a couple other people are in this movie. And as I am learning that some men are having an issue with Barbie, as Donovan said, some are trying to take down Barbie, take down the movie. I'm like, well, good luck, because it made over $160 million, which is said to be historical in that it was the highest grossing movie for a female director and among the top high grossing movies of all time. So good luck with that. But I guess maybe I'm confused because I played with some Barbies, and y'all can best believe all my baby dolls was black. Okay, my mom and daddy wasn't having that. But nevertheless, I thought Barbie was a doll, but admittedly, I have not seen the movie. I don't know, what was said, but from what Donovan, who looks like he's frozen, just right there, he goes, Donovan has said, and a couple of other men, and my daughter actually was telling me about it this morning. It was like, did you hear that, men, and she said it was mostly white conservative men that are mad, but it sounds like there's a Negro here that's mad about it as well. that they're mad about the movie, and I'm like, Barbie's a toy. But again, I don't know what the movie's about, so they could be, down with men. I don't know, but I would imagine most little girls that played with Barbies, had their Barbie doll kick Ken in the nuts at least once. So I don't know. Is that rare?
I will say this. I have my cousins, and there's like my brother, me, one cousin, two are like we're right behind each other. We used to go over to their house. They have this, this big box full of baby dolls. You girls back in the day had the big baby doll. Y'all do the hair and play house and all that good stuff like that. For some reason, my brother and I would go over there and we would rip the heads off of those baby dolls for no reason, no apparent reason.
Why does that not surprise me?
We would just rip the heads off of them, right? And then, they tell their mom, and my aunt would come and, she'd be mad because, we ripped the heads off and stuff. But no, it is a part of American lexicon to have Barbie and this, this great white thing, whatever. Then you had the, later on, they had the black ones and stuff like that. And, the guys, we had the G.I. Joe and the $6 Million Man doll and all that great stuff. But my understanding of this movie is it is a man bash fest. Because at the beginning of the movie, Barbie's living in this world where the women are kind of in control of everything. Then she comes in. I don't want to spoil it for everybody. She comes into the modern world, and basically how the movie starts is how it ends. So, I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, I mean, I just didn't.
Okay, so you said at the beginning of the movie she did what?
Beginning of the movie, the women control everything. And unfortunately, the world is in chaos. No, the women are in control. It's a matriarchy and life is good, supposedly. I don't want to spoil the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I'm going off some of the reviews, some of the critics that said about it. But even a lot of your critics are saying, what the F is this? So.
Can I ask you a question? And I'm going to put the link up, you guys. I am burning up. I'm about to start turning beet red, so forgive me. I'm going to put the link up. Y'all want to come on and join, please show me your face if I have not already seen you on here. And all I ask is that you also be brief as to allow other people come up. If I see that you are not coming up for air and you're just kind of going on and on, I'm going to hold my hand up and then I'm going to mute your mic. And I really hate to do that, but come on, be brief and let's keep pushing. I love y'all though. All right, so I'm gonna put this in here. Give me 1 second. Ooh, I'm hot.
And since we're talking about it, I'm gonna give you guys a quick music tip. If you haven't heard of the Average White Band, please go check their album out. I mean, definite. If you like live music and stuff like that, definitely good album to go. Demetra is a big fan of Steely Dan. So, I mean, don't sleep on some of these musicians. They got some really good stuff out there.
Yeah, big fan of Steely Dan. And I actually was, my daughter took me for my birthday. It was 2016, I think it was. And I saw Steely Dan before Walter Becker passed away at the Hollywood Bowl. And I tell you, that was one of my favorite concert experiences of all time. My God, it was great.
Yeah, the reason I bring that up is because, I have a lot of music, digital music and stuff, and I've had the albums there, and I just don't listen to all of them, right? I can't get to, there's over 2,000 albums I have, digital. And for some reason, I started listening to this one because I play bass when I'm bored and doing nothing. And it just had some great bass riffs to it and stuff, and some of the music. One of the biggest hits of the Average White Band was Pick Up the Pieces. You guys know that little jam? And They have a lot of great hits, so check them out.
Yes, indeed. Oops. All right, so I put the link up if y'all want to join. Chris, you say all dolls are idols because God does not want us creating any physical objects that resembles humans or animals because God molded Adam out of dust of grounds and breathed breath into him. Well, Chris, I mean, I get the whole, you should not have any graven images or idols. God is a jealous God. I get all of that, but come on, tell me what child is well, they might be, but do they, if they're worshiping Barbie per se, Are they doing it to replace God? Because I also want to know the part in the Bible, and I know there's some that says, well, let's lighten up a little bit, have a sense of humor. And I want to also say this too. That's, and no, not saying it's about you. I'm just saying in general, that's the kind of stuff that scares people away from church. You can't play with Barbie dolls because, you know, is there a God doll that somebody could play with? I don't know. You know what I mean? So, or a doll of Jesus. But to, you know, to say that playing with a Barbie doll is, you know, is idling, is like, come on now. Do y'all want people to go to church? Or do y'all want people to say, you know, they tripping? Because I'll be honest with you, I've been to churches where they said, you can't listen to that music. You can't do that. And it's like, then I ain't going to be here too much longer, you know? So I don't know. Otis, how are you doing this fine evening? Can you hear us? You can't hear us? We can't hear you either. So you might have to go out and then come back in. All right, so moving right along. Let's see here. King of Sorrow says these people tie too much of their personal lives into a movie. Movies are an escape. That's what I'm like. Golly.
Well, I agree with them. Music are supposed to be an escape, but now you go woke, you go broke. Look at all these major movies that have come out recently that just, they aren't telling good stories. They ruined Star Wars by putting, you know, by not telling a good story. I don't care if the character was a woman or not, but Demetra, how many strong women protagonists are there that are legendary in the movie game? Sigourney Weaver, Linda Hamilton, Carrie Fisher. I mean, these women were just superb. They keep talking about like women don't exist in these movies. They do exist in these movies. I don't know what people are watching.
I'm gonna save my commentary for later because Rain, I'm gonna write that down about Obama's chef. It's very interesting. I'm gonna write it down. Okay, so yeah, Double A, all movies have an agenda to some degree. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, nowadays they do. But if you go back to the 80s and the 70s and stuff, the agenda was to give a message. I mean, look at One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was an excellent movie. A Few Good Men, Tom Cruise and all the big stars in that. I mean, these were all great movies that had messages for the society in regards to society and how we should treat each other and stuff like that. Now, we got movies that say absolutely nothing.
Right. Common Man says, I never heard of or watched the movie, and from what I've been hearing from you guys, I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go see no damn Barbie movie. I guess it's for grown women. I don't know. It's not something, that I want to see. My daughter says she's going to go see it, but she's 30. So, yes, Trina, Steely Dan is the mom. Love, Steely Dan. All right, we're going to see if we can get this going again. Otis, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you. What's on your mind, brother?
Okay. I got some shocking information coming out of Chicago about the illegal immigrants. I hate to change your story. I tried to email. I mean, I didn't know your email, so I put it in your last show about in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, in the Woodlawn area, at a Chicago Housing Authority complex. The illegal immigrants are attacking the Black residents in the Chicago Housing Authority at that complex. They're calling them racist names. They're referring to them as Siachas, Punta Negras over there. There's a video as you look at the news, as you look it up on YouTube, Woodlawn residents and immigrants, or you go on Facebook, it's on there too. Type in Woodlawn residents and immigrants, and you will see the whole 2 minutes of the footage. According to the footage that's on there, when you look at that footage, those Hispanics that's out there, Some of them are in cars. They're patrolling the parking lots. They're attacking people leaving out of there. You got the men downstairs, the black men downstairs by the parking lot. Two of them trying to fight the immigrants. Word is that the police came after there was a gathering of women, CHA black women, having a get together, and one of the immigrants pulled his pants down and did a number 2. Also, when the police came, the immigrants fought the police. This is also, you could go on the Chicago Housing Authority YouTube channel and look at the last meeting that they had. And you skim through it, when you get to the resident speaking, you will see that the lady from the lady from the Woodlawn housing out there, she tells the whole story. My thing is this, I'm asking both of you. Isn't this considered like a terrorist attack from people who not from this country coming here, attacking American citizens in America? Can it be referred to that?
That's a good question.
Well, let me answer that real quick. Yes and no. I'm going to say no more so because a lot of these immigrants have been sponsored into the United States by the State Department.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing. But if they don't,
that's why I said, it's a good question, because if they're here, is it considered a terrorist attack? And then, what's the definition of a terrorist attack?
Right.
Because you can have a terrorist attack, homegrown terrorist attack,
right?
Right. Within or from an American as well. So.
Yeah, but these people haven't got citizenship. They're invited, but they haven't got their citizenship yet. So they're just visiting.
Well, no. The way the State Department would look at it, since they're being sponsored, they're sponsored under certain rules and regulations. So any of these people that are rounded up by the police and stuff like that, they're going to be escorted out of here back across the border, never to come back again, because they violated the rules of why they were let in to begin with. So
do me a favor though. Send me. You have my email now.
I can write it down.
So it's DemetraK@gmail.com.
Okay. DemetraK at what again?
At gmail.com.
Okay. Okay then.
All right, send it to me. And then I can take a look at it. And don't send me them doing number 2 now. I don't want to be grossed out.
No. They didn't have that video. They didn't have that video. All you will see is the video. Hopefully I can send the video to your email. Sometimes it's hard to do that. That's why I said.
Yeah, send me the story, and the title and stuff, and I can find it from there.
Okay then. I can do that. And yeah. So my thing is also, I tried to reach out to the 8th Ward where they're going to send the immigrants at, and I feel like that money should be on hold right now because of what they did over there in the Woodlawn area. And those immigrants that was over there, that they got on video, they got cameras over there. According to the CHA CEO,
Brother Oz, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to try to get back to some of these comments and allow somebody else to come up. But please send me the information. I'd love to look into it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, y'all take it easy.
You too.
All right.
All right. So I want to address this. And hello, Mike. He says, hello, Demetra and Donovan. I was wrongfully terminated today with no video footage, etc. Only word of mouth from another staff. They even admitted they had no video evidence for termination. So if you don't mind me asking, if you could briefly just say what it was you were terminated for. I'm gonna also put this link up in here. What were you terminated for? And then maybe if you want to click on and come on and we can have a brief conversation about it. I see what we can come up with together. I'm going to click down a little bit too. Sister B, how you doing? And just try to get to some of these other questions. And Bo, how are you? You say, I saw it. It was fun. So you saw the Barbie movie. It was fun. Okay. Let's see here. Common Man says, no, she's right. The birth of a nation. That was one hell of a message sent. People still get that message until this very day. Yeah, but that message came from something that was already in existence, right? So that movie was not
reinforced.
Created.
Reinforced.
It wasn't created, and then people say, "Oh, now I'm influenced to be a racist," right? It came out of. It was the movie was birthed from.
Wait. And by the way, the president that viewed Birth of a Nation was a Democratic president.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's funny how these Democrats keep ending up on everything that opposite of what Black people want and need in this country. Isn't that kind of strange? Their history.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see here. Thunder, you say, isn't it strange how some folks always find evil and the devil in everything? But when I ask where are all the blessed and holy items I can buy and put in my home or life, they fall silent. Why? You raise a good question, brother. A good question. D. Griffin, he says, they are the ones that have been attacking Black people in Chicago at night. The police know this. They're allowing it to happen. Okay. So, yeah, I definitely want to get more information on that.
Can I say this, though, D. Griffith? Isn't it funny how Chicago, I'm not sure if they're leading the death rate in the United States or anything like that, but you got nicknames like Chirac. You got guys that have all these guns and, you know, they're just shooting each other. No questions asked. Now, as a military person, I'm sitting here after getting this news wondering, how can immigrants get here and do anything like this that is happening, and everybody in Chicago in general is armed? Please explain that to me. Only in the Black neighborhoods can this actually, stuff like this happen.
Well, you know, and Common Man makes a good point. He says, so what if there were other Black gangs, they'd kill them for looking at their shoes funny. And you know, I don't want to say this to say that Black people in Chicago aren't saying anything about the gang violence and all that other stuff. They are, but it's like, yeah, now if that's going on, you got that to deal with, and you know, the immigrants acting crazy up in there. And Robert, he says Hollywood is Satan controlled. Satan controlled. What good has Hollywood put out lately? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's entertainment. You could, you know, take it for what it is. I always say I don't suggest anybody watch anything if you're not aware of, you know, other things. Like if you're easily influenced, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be watching TV or listen to the radio or anything like that. But if you can watch something and be objective and, you know, read between the lines and things like that, then I think you're good. My mom used to always tell me, she says, can't you just watch a movie without seeing stuff and reading between the lines? I'm like, I can't help it.
You don't want to go to the movies with me because I've already seen where the movie's going and what it's going to do. And don't go with movies with me.
Mm-hmm. Rain says the border countries definitely sent their worst to America. So going off of what Trump was saying, huh? Julia, how you doing? Says salute.
What you say, man? How dare you say that, man? I want my motherfucking human rights right now. That's what I want. I want my human rights right now.
You stupid.
What's the movie?
I
did a lot to beat for Castro. Yes, I did.
Oh, you talking about Scarface?
Scarface, exactly.
Yeah, Scarface.
What you talking about,
man? Yeah. Julia, how you doing? Says salute, Empress and family. This is what Biden wants us to be at war. Yeah, I definitely need to look more into that because that is not surprising, but definitely is crazy. A lady say, so Chicago, Pookie and Ray Ray has competition now. Lord have mercy. Sister B says, I just looked up Chicago Housing Authority channel and I don't see it. That's why I'm saying, yeah, send it to me so I can try to see if I can find it. Blocka, how you doing? Says, I ain't trying to be funny, but you cats in Chicago are shooting everything up. All of you guys are packing heat, but now y'all just fighting these immigrants. I'm just gonna let that sit right there. I'm just gonna keep reading. Tammy, love, he says 12 tribe chart, 12 truckloads of garbage. Easy says D, I just look, they're not showing much. Yeah, so that's why I need to see everything but people going to the bathroom. I'll stop up to that point. D Griffin says, why were they not sent to Spanish-speaking neighborhoods in Chicago? There's plenty of them. Because they know that Black people just will get mad, but what are we gonna do about it, right? Well, they're just the Negroes. They'll be upset, but they'll be all right after a while. They always are, right? So that's why they did it. But now it's really starting to bite them because black people are like, no, I'm sorry. We're not putting up with that anymore. And the Democrats, I think, unfortunately, or fortunately rather, are going to pay for that. Freddie B, how you doing? And Rain says there was a black guy getting after them about harassing a black woman. Okay. Tammy Love says go to EEOC or Human Rights Commission with your employment off or your employment office. Yeah, you could do that most definitely. And let's see here. OG Patricia says Demetri K. Also asking what state was he terminated. Some states are at will. That's why I wanted him to come on so we can find out, what kind of job it was it at will, and all of that. You also say, and proof of wrongful termination could be difficult. I'm just saying, yeah, depending on what the allegation was, right? Rain says because they were Democrats, Dixiecrats back then. Yeah, absolutely. Easy says, where are the Panther brothers in Chi area to protect black folks? Well, I know, I don't know if they have Panthers out there still, but I know they have like New Era Chicago. They're a group, pro-black group that's vested into helping black people, protecting black people and things like that. So they do. And you have Brother Tyrone Muhammad and his group. They're out there as well. So there's definitely people out there. Let's see here. Mike, you say I work in nursing, and one of the nurses told the head supervisor that I came into work, took Tylenol from our medicine chart because I allegedly had a headache. None of this ever happened. Yeah, you might have something there. I mean, where's your proof that I did this? Are you taking it on the word of somebody else who does not also have proof? So you might want to, definitely go to your employment or unemployment office, the labor board, wherever you are, and talk to them about it. And then, worst case or maybe best case scenario, talk to an attorney, because it sounds like they need more than just the word of somebody saying you did it, right? So I do agree with you on that. A lady, you say Hidden Figures was inspirational. It absolutely was. And that was about a very smart women. Thunder.
I think one of the ladies just had a birthday. I think she's like 94 or something like that. The one she actually did the figures to get to the moon. She actually did it by hand.
She's passed away now.
Really? I think I saw somewhere. One of them is having a birthday or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not the lead character. And her, forgive me, her name escapes me right now, but she's passed away a couple of years ago. Easy says the perfect round for illegals is 300 blackout. What does that mean? Okay, so let's see here. Thunder says the people who are easily influenced seem to always be influenced to do wrong, but them never seem to be easily influenced to do good. Why is this? For some reason, they say it's easier to do wrong or to be negative than it is to do good. You have to kind of work at it, right? Work at being positive. And those of y'all who do go to church, it says evil communication corrupts good manners. And so if you're hanging around people who are not good, eventually you will end up doing what they're doing. It's rare that, I mean, in some cases, but from what they say, it's most of the time the evil one corrupts the good one. Because if you're good and you cannot positively influence the bad one, you shouldn't be hanging around them in the first place, right?
Thus, we look at our police departments across the nation. Everybody says, well, there's some good cops. Until the good cops start weeding out those bad cops, you got to assume they're all bad.
Common Man says the black people in Chicago will have to stand down until President Trump gets in office. That's all I can say. I think I know where you're going with that. You guys also see that Greg Abbott put those orange buoys out there by the Rio Grande, very large orange balls that makes it hard for people to jump over, whatever. Of course, some business owners along that area are suing because they're like, now y'all messing up our money. There's a guy who does like a boat tour thing along that area, and he says that now they're in my way, right? So you're encroaching upon my earning potential. Then others, including Mexico, I think they are filing they're filing something in regards to saying that it's dangerous, right? People try to cross it, it could be dangerous and people could drown and be killed. So, Common Man, you also say Biden is not your friend. When will people learn that? Yep, absolutely. OG says they do still have the Panthers in Chicago. Okay, that is good to know. Thunder says, Why, when you give the easily influenced people ways to better themselves and their families, they will constantly find excuses why it won't work, or why they can't, because it's just easier. It's just easier to hold on to, for what it's, I think it's just human nature to hold on to I can't, because to can, it does take a little bit more effort, right? You actually got to, for one, move the excuses out of your mind and then find solutions, action plans, and things like that to get to the can, right? So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I believe Katherine Johnson, that's her name. She did pass away, if I'm not mistaken. So, hello, Donna Black, how are you? Black America says Hidden Figures was a bull crap, I think. They didn't show any of the black men who were there. Y'all had a whole movie called Life with all black men. All black men.
And they had black women in there doing what what they're supposed to be doing.
Y'all, but this goes back to my argument. Y'all gonna make me mad in a good way. Why do y'all always want what women want? They got a mermaid. Is it true? It's a true story. I'm telling you, I know for a fact it's a true story because I know the person who actually helped her get her story to the big screen. So it's like, I'm confused. Why are y'all mad that there was no black men in that movie? They had black husbands.
No, I'm not mad, but the thing is, women have their movie. Y'all had Set It Off and Color Purple. Y'all had y'all anthem movies. What's Love Got to Do with It? Of course, it fired y'all up, even though it was based on BS, but it fired y'all up. I mean, hey.
But you see what I'm saying? Y'all did like black with like, can I just want to know. Because y'all always complain about women wanting to be in your spaces. Is there a space or a movie or a drink of water or something a sister could have without y'all being involved, without y'all
gave
getting
y'all
mad?
the Players Club. What more do y'all want? We gave you the Players Club.
I'm confused. Easy say, anybody got any raid in Chicago for the cockroaches? You tripping? You know what? Texas is pretty roachy too. They got those big giant water bugs, and I'm like, they're so creepy. Raiden, you say Biden's DOJ is suing the governor of Texas, and the governor of Texas said, "I'll see you in court, Mr. President." Yeah, they're trying to get him removed, but he's like, I guess it's the equivalent of the wall. They're very unsightly, but and I would imagine you have a business and dealing with boats and stuff. You don't want to see that, but it's like, from what Greg Abbott and them are saying, y'all, the Democrats, y'all have allowed the immigrants to come in these large numbers, and they're not coming in to y'all states. They're coming into the red states like Texas, the southern border. So what we're going to do is put them on a plane or a bus and send them to y'all, which is what's going on in Chicago and New York and other Democratic ran states. And y'all deal with them. We don't have the money. Y'all deal with them since this is you guys' legislation. But in the meantime, we are going to put some barriers up to deter that. So yeah, I don't like Greg Abbott at all. But I get what he's doing with that.
Right. Now, let me ask you this question for a lot of people that don't know. Whose responsibility is it to secure the United States border? Is it the individual states or is it the federal government?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry. I was reading this comment.
Whose responsibility is it to secure the national borders of the United States? Is it the individual states or is it the federal government?
Well, if you're saying a national, then that's a federal thing. That's on the national levels for them to do. However, states do have jurisdiction over their states.
Absolutely. So if the federal government is not going to do it and the states say, hey, we've had enough, they have every right to border their state and close it down if they wish to do so. Yeah.
Right. Anonymous B says it's the same thing with Harry Tubman, Black Men World. Why is she on the bill? Yeah, it's like, but y'all don't want sisters to have nothing. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Like, the sisters can't have nothing. We can't have a dry biscuit without y'all complaining.
Wait a minute. Y'all are the most educated, more so than black men. Y'all are doing all this great stuff. I'm not saying you guys aren't. You're doing all this great stuff. Y'all having the hot girl summer, black girls rock. You're having all of this stuff. And we just are trying to put everything in thing and saying, well, where are the men? What about us? Because everything has been reversed now. Everything is topsy-turvy. We're in a bizarro world now.
How you doing, Galen? Your picture. Yeah, you guys all said the federal government is responsible. Yes, indeed. I don't know. I'm gonna put the link up here again, but I'm baffled as to why a sister can't have a movie. Why can't there be a movie about a sister without y'all being involved? Y'all had the Butler.
Yeah, we gave y'all Players Club. We gave y'all Mandingo. We gave y'all
Now y'all gave the white women Mandingo, okay? Y'all didn't give us Mandingo. Y'all had the Butler. Y'all wasn't happy with that?
We gave y'all Precious. Come on. Y'all even turned on the main sister that won the Oscar in that movie.
No, y'all turned on Precious. Y'all turned on Precious.
Nope.
Okay?
Y'all leader, Oprah Winfrey, wanted that woman to go out there and work for free. And it was men that stood up. Her husband said, we don't work for free over here.
But Tyler Perry and Lee Daniel, who are men, was right along with Oprah.
Wait, stop. You said Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels. You said we're men. Only one of those guys is a man.
But all we need is one to count. Okay? So your argument is null and damn void. Okay? Let's see here. Robert says, how come they didn't want a black man to be on the dollar bill first? I don't know. Harriet Tubman, would y'all imagine, okay, y'all think they was going to put Nat Turner on there? Can y'all see Nat Turner on one of them bills? We know that Harriet Tubman was a little bit more acceptable to white supremacy, right? Because white supremacy runs the White House. Let's keep it buck. Harriet Tubman, see, y'all asking questions y'all already know the answer to, because most black men in history, like in Nat Turner's, they wasn't just leading the slaves to freedom. They was deleting people. So Nat Turner probably wasn't going to be on it. Yeah, I guess they could have put Frederick Douglass on there. I think he has a stamp. I don't know, but nevertheless, she ain't on there now. I don't know when she's going to be on there, but, I'm more concerned with getting some of those $20 bills.
That's right. Trump said, we ain't having it. Get that woman up off that money.
Give me the money, and I don't care who on. They could put Miss Piggy on it, and if it spins, I'm gonna spin it. That's where I'm at with it. And even more so, it's more symbolism. They'd rather give you Harriet Tubman on the $20 than they give you the $20 in reparations. You know what I mean? So that's where we really need to be.
And speaking of money and travel and all this other stuff, how many of you guys heard that the European Union is now going to implement visas? They were supposed to do it before the pandemic actually hit. And now, like before, if you were an American, you can go over to Europe without a visa for like 90 days and stuff like that. Now, they're going to be implementing very soon where you're going to have to pay for the visa before you go into the European Union. So, the money problems are everywhere around the world.
They say Harriet Tubman freed about 300 slaves. Frederick Douglass helped to free all the slaves and this nation. Think about that. So, and that's funny. You have his picture as your profile picture. What is this, a pissing contest? I'm asking, is this, what are we doing here? It's, what are we doing? Michael, I'm going to bring you up briefly. How are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing okay. How about you guys? How you guys doing today? Sorry to be late.
No worries. You're right on time. How you doing?
Good. Yes. So I know that Philip Scott talked about how Democrats are now scared of Cornel West because he's running a big game for his presidential campaign, and now Cornel West is coming forward with his statement of reparations, which is progress. But then, of course, he needs to discuss more about his substance, what reparations is going to look like moving forward, and I'm seeing that more Black voters are going on to or are moving on to Cornel West's campaign side. And so I know the Democrats are scared and fearing for control of Black voters, especially the young Black millennials moving forward. Because I mean, we can thank God we have the internet. Thank God. So thank God the internet is waking a lot of people up. But for sure, I know a lot of baby boomers. I know where they get the information, source of information. They usually like read the newspapers or watch TV, such as CNN, MSNBC, etc. And and also and also like Biden is now feeling the pressure that he has to implement a reparations commission move forward, because he knows his time is getting closer and closer for re-election. And even like the Congress too, the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, like, why do you need a reparations commission when you know you're being pressured? Why not just issue Black American descendants of slavery a check? Like, they could do it like just now, like literally off the bat. Just how they do with the Ukrainians, migrants, LGBT, and other groups, because we really can't afford. Trust me, I'm sure you know this as well. We can definitely afford issue cash payment reparations to American descendants of slavery like today. Like, we don't need no study, so I don't understand why we don't need a study for Ukrainians and us, but reparations for cash payment reparations and other like universal policies. When Democrats, Republicans worked to pass tax cuts, they did not need a study at all, which I find ridiculous. And now the U.S. government is losing, trillions of dollars every year through the tax code, tax breaks. And so I feel like these tax breaks are not being audited at all, especially giving tax breaks to the wealthiest of this country. We're helping the very few, but not helping, especially like Black American descendants of slavery, Black American descendants of slavery who really want to get ahead or move forward.
Absolutely. And I no disagreements there. So, anything else on your mind before we move along here?
Yes, just came to my mind, and I just remember when
Quickly, my brother.
I do quickly. Sorry, and maybe you and Donovan can jump in. What I have to say. So whenever America likes to promote diversity, right? Say how we're like a melting pot society, but we're not in reality. I think it's like Hollywood, right? So you know how like Hollywood likes to portray this image that America is the greatest country, we're like the land of, what's it, that phrase? Home of the if I say it's correct.
Home of the free, land of the brave.
Yeah, land of the free. But in reality, we're not, especially for Black American descendants of slavery.
No, absolutely. Arguments with us there.
There used to be a comedian, Demetra, just like Martin Lawrence. You know how to make people laugh, including Donovan.
Oh, okay.
She makes me laugh because her points are laughable.
I'm funny. Well, anyway, Michael, thank you so much for coming up and giving us the tea as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Come back and see us again. Robert, you say, hold on a second. You said, no, I'm bringing up a valid question up when I asked how come they don't have a Black man on a dollar bill first. Well, Donovan, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, I guess I'm confused as to why does it matter that there's not a Black man on the Black. And the other thing too is y'all asking questions again y'all really know the answer to. If we believe that the emasculation of Black men is a thing, do you really expect for y'all see white people in the White House to put a Black man on a dollar bill? The Black man has, Black man, as long as he's been over here in the United States of America, okay? And I'm not, how about this? As long as the Black man has been in captivity in the United States of America, he has always been put underneath everybody, including the Black woman. So y'all asking questions, and Robert, I'm not saying this to you in general. Y'all asking questions y'all already know the answer to. But again, regardless of who is Harriet Tubman being on that $20 bill gonna make things better for Black people, how does her being on that $20 bill improve the life of Black people that have less $20 bills than anybody in the United States? See, that's another thing that we have to argue over. Why it ain't a man? Why it ain't? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were going to that where I was going. I was like, this. I guess basically what the person's kind of saying is, instead of supporting the Black man being on the bill, we get divisive. It's like, women are trying to separate themselves from and have their own group. You see what I'm saying? When we should be together. I think that's what I got.
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
No. Wait. I didn't call your stuff bullshit. So come on, this is my opinion. Wait a minute.
It's bullshit.
Wait, but this is my opinion. Let me finish. And I think that's what he's saying is we got to be on one accord. And that's where we got to keep pushing that. Why do we always got to say, well, the Black man's first or the Black woman's first? It doesn't matter. Like you said, I agree. It doesn't matter who's on there first. The thing is, we got to stop all that and say, who gives a damn about that? Let's get the agenda together. We're always being divisive among each other. Well, why the Black women? It's just like when Ice Cube and the Fox cocktail ladies. Well, what about the women? Well, you Black, ain't you? And so the same thing with this dollar bill thing, Harriet Tubman. I don't care if Harriet Tubman's on the dollar bill. I personally don't care because it's still a Black person. It's a Black woman. What's the big deal?
I said it's bullshit. Excuse my French. Because you said women separated it. Women, cause the separation, want to be separate. It's like no woman, especially no Black woman, had any say-so over who went on that $20 bill or any of that. So I'm confused, and that's why I said it's bullshit as to how we get blamed for y'all not separate. Y'all, Kamala, who says she's a Black woman, has absolutely zero power in that White House, right? But somehow Black women get on the hook for causing a separation behind Harriet Tubman being on a dollar bill. Who did y'all want on there? The Good Times family? I mean, what were we supposed to do? We don't have any control of that.
Well, then why don't we say if we're not going to do it together, it's all or it's nothing, right?
Who was this we though?
What do you mean? I'm talking about us. What I'm saying is when we are together as a group, together, ladies and gentlemen in the Black community, when we stick together, we are a powerful force. The problem is they put these wedge things out there to make us argue among each other. $20 is $20. It don't matter who's on it. I mean, you had a racist white president, one of the most racist white presidents of all times in who was on $20?
Thomas Jefferson.
No. With Thomas Jefferson, the other guy, the other white guy, the general. $20 bill. Jackson.
Jackson. That's who I actually
yeah. The most racist guy. Nobody had a problem. Nobody still doesn't have a problem spending that money with his face on it. The most racist president ever. He did the Trail of Tears, killed thousands of Indians, and just horrible. We have no problem spending that dollar, and here we are arguing about who's on the dollar first. Come on now.
Yeah, and Dundee say if we want a Black man on currency, we can do like the Lakota did a few years back. They started minting silver bullion and using their faces on it. Yeah, I mean, hell, Gaddafi, he tried to, make a currency for Black people, get away from the United States, American dollar. And it was a Black man in the White House that took him out of here. So, I just think it's at some point in time we just gotta cut the crap. It's crazy at this point. We want to know why a Black man wasn't on the damn $20 bill and shit. Y'all got me cussing. And there's a whole lot of Black men and women ain't got $20 bills to rub together right now. And you know what? It's gonna be Asians, white people, Hispanics. They gonna have all the $20 bills with Harriet Tubman on it. And you run around talking about it sure is nice to have Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. That should have been a Black man. And you ain't got one your damn self. My goodness. All right, Thunder says it's not BS. He has a point. Let's do this together. What? When we say let's, who are we talking about? Black people. It's delusion to think that we have the power to say, listen, Biden, we don't want Harriet Tubman on there. Yeah, we can't even tell him to write a bill to protect Black people. And y'all arguing about who on the damn currency because a Black man ain't on the currency. Y'all see, I know that there's a strong matriarchy in the Black community, but y'all cannot blame Black women for everything. It's just, you know what? Think 5 times before you speak. Y'all look out the turn beat red and Thunder. I heard you. I saw, or it was you were easy as my air conditioner on. It is. I I have hot flashes, and when I get a little excited, I get hot. So it's whatever. But let me keep on reading. But it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Well, wait. And you said this is that, whatever, everybody talks about the manosphere, whatever. There's a theory that Carlee that's going around that they're saying that it's a man's fault because she did it for her boyfriend. So blame that on the Black man. Why are you blame that on the Black man?
Ooh, I know this is why doves cry. I'm convinced this is why. Them doves is bawling. Star Jammer, how you doing? It says, what's with you two keep talking about that woman in prison in South Carolina? You talking about Susan Smith? I'm not keep talking about her. I'm just saying she was held accountable for lying about what happened to her children and blaming it on a Black man. So she's not a constant conversation with me. I didn't even know she was still alive, to be honest with you. Tammy Lovey says, this is my first time hearing that Black men are trying to be one with Black women. Honeydew, how you doing? Blocker says, don't care about symbolic gestures, only care about reparations. Absolutely. A lady says, you are in the manosphere, Donovan. Oh, don't.
I already addressed that. No, I'm just a man, period. When you're a man, I guess you're supposed to be in the manosphere. I guess that's where I'm supposed to be. I'm a man.
Now, because we have heard you say before that you were, so.
Right, I'm a man. Where else would I be?
So now you're saying you are part of the manosphere.
No. I'm not a man. We were talking about passport brothers. Am I a passport bro? That's the you were going.
She says, you are in the manosphere, Donovan.
No, I'm just a man.
Double A says Obama really didn't have power like Trump and Biden. Yeah, he probably didn't, but none of them really do, Thunder, you say.
If you guys really think about it, Trump was the only president that actually wielded the presidency and didn't give a damn and actually said, do it.
Which is why they don't want him back up in there.
Executive. That's why it's called an executive. You tell the people what you want them to do, and they execute it, period.
Thunder says they want to put a Black woman on $20 and for the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint, the face of liberty is a Black woman in 2017. Who's making those decisions? Y'all know who's making those decisions?
Kamala
can't even say what kind of salad dressing they having in the White House at night, let alone that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tangi Brown. Oh, she can't even define what a woman is. Sorry. Go ahead.
Child. Sean Street, how you doing? Says our people don't need to be in this country evil on this country's evil paper notes. Yeah, I mean, we ain't got none of them. Just saying. Arguing over eating an air sandwich, right? Show was good. Why you get a bigger piece than me? A lady, you say they are radicalized by the Black manosphere, Demetri. Just ignore them. I ain't gonna ignore them. I mean, they have their right to be that. I'm just like Donovan. Sometimes when you be putting up that background behind you, I'm like, do we believe it? Critical thinking.
Oh.
If that's something he really adheres to, is just because it's cute. Like, what do MC Fact, how you doing? It says reparations over pictures on money. Yes, indeed. Danny, how you doing? It says, then they gonna get rid of cash in a minute anyhow. So it's really pointless either way. All these symbols mean nothing. Exactly. Brother Sam, you know I'm a little off, just a little bit. Just a little. Your average logical thinker, how you doing? Powerful Empress, how are you? King of Sorrow, why are you looking like that? Kimmy, how you doing? Let's see here. D. Griffin says Trump was giving them hell. Yeah, he was off the chain. Because any president going there, they supposed to go in there and say, okay, give me the talking points, give me what I'm supposed to do and say. Trump was like, he got in there and got the freestyling. He talked about the media and the fake news and all kinds of stuff in the White House, and they ain't been able to get it back to where it was. Y'all notice they make up a case, a trial on him every other day. They're like, some gonna stick, okay? They really don't want him back. When I say they, the Republicans don't want him back in there either. They're just, a lot of them just afraid to face backlash from their own party, of voters that want him back in there, so they play along. But none of them want him in there because he is a firecracker for real. And Common Man says Trump didn't have to. He's a billionaire. Can't touch that. And Sean says, I just seen Jim Crow Joe sending more money to Ukraine. He gotta go.
I believe Zelensky came in and said, thank you, United States, for the $48 billion we've given him in cash. We've given him over $1 trillion in arms and weapons. That's why we don't have any more bombs here in the United States. We've given a lot of our throwaway bombs to this guy. And but yet an open checkbook to people who don't pay taxes here, who don't do anything. And yet we can't even get a study.
And a lady says, Trump, I only need to find 1,178 votes. Y'all can have that criminal. But okay, let me ask you this, lady. Do you have a problem with what's going on with Biden and his son, President Joe Biden, who was a senator at the time, is implicated in some crimes, in regards to his son, right? So
they even have his father on tape talking about this is, we'll take care of it or something of that nature. They've got Biden on tape.
And was it a text message or something from Hunter saying, oh, yeah, my dad is right here. So, and Biden is saying, oh, I knew nothing about any of this. But there's plenty of information, receipts, if you will, that says that Biden was there. So, and knew about it. So are you as concerned about that as you are with Trump? Just asking. Let's see here. D. Griffin, you say, I have never seen them work so hard to keep somebody out of the White House. And Barely, how you doing? He says, Trump is funny, though. Yes, he is. And D. Griffin says, I believe it's been more in cash.
Yeah, well, I think the problem with Trump right now is he is only 3 years younger than Biden. He's only 3 years younger than Biden. I think the problem with Trump is they are hoping that he dies before they have to really prosecute him. Because think about this: white supremacy, when they're locking up their former people, it goes to show you that this system is not perfect. It never was, but that they can't go across the seas and talk about all this great stuff that's going on, because I guarantee you, every president has done and made money off of the presidency. Obama has made millions of dollars since he left the presidency. And so on, so forth. They all do it. They do not want, that's why it's taken so long to prosecute this man. 3 years has passed since January 6th, and he hasn't even been charged yet. Not even charged for that. They want this man to pass away, because when he passes away, if you're charged for a crime and never went to trial and weren't convicted, it doesn't exist. They want this man to go away.
As one of his trials is supposed to start in May of 2024, so they trying to
the documents trial, which he would lose.
Do you think Trump would lose the document trial?
Yeah, because think about it: Chelsea Manning, all of these people that took government files, there was no different than what he did than what Trump did.
So you're saying he would win then?
No, he would lose. Trump would lose that hands
Oh,
down.
yeah, so Chelsea Manning. Yeah, you know, and then they also have to
all
put
those military people that went to jail just for having it by mistake.
They gonna have to put Biden on the hook too, because he took some documents he wasn't supposed to be having either, and when he was not president. So
yeah, but they gave him the courtesy. They said, well, you know, give it back to us, because Pence got caught up. And I mean, they all do it. I'm very sure Obama has some things, but they said give it back, and he didn't want to give it back. And this is how they protect their false reality.
yeah, then they all need to be, you know, going to, you know, whatever jail they would go to. So let's, Black America, how you doing today?
Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me okay?
We hear you beautifully. Yes.
All right. Good afternoon. They are always after me, but them is the wrong people. My people come with no knock warrants. So I don't have a problem with the movie Hidden Figures. I'm calling about that. It's not that they're giving somebody. My problem was somebody said that it was an inspirational movie, and inspirational to who is the problem. My problem with it is, as Black people in this country, we all know that Black men have had a much greater influence and effect on the things that work, run, and go in this country. And you're going to show 4 or 5 Black women at NASA in the 60s doing math just to think that there was no Black men there doing anything on any type of level. That's what I'm talking about. And that's where the agenda kicks in as far as that's concerned. It's just bad to think that, hey, little Black girls, you can do this. Hey, little Negro boys, you're not even in the picture. You know what I mean? So that's where it's bad.
I don't know what you mean, because I'm trying to. You said what? Who was inspired by that? I have a niece that was inspired by Miss Johnson. She did a whole, you know, history day about her and all that. Now my niece is very smart.
She's working on the teleportation, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's working on teleportation. Yes, she's in the STEM program, very, you know, a genius, if you will. So she was inspired by her, as I would imagine. A lot of young girls and men were inspired by that. But I'm trying to figure out, how did this become a contest? Or how did a movie about a Black female, couple Black female geniuses, mathematically anyway, how did this become about making little boys feel bad about themselves? And like I said to y'all once before, when think 5 times, think I ain't gonna say it because I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble with what I was gonna say. But I'm just confused as to how that was against little boys, little Black boys.
Don't we say as grown people now, we see ourselves in the reflection of the things we see? So you guys said that was an inspirational movie. You laughed it off and said, well, you guys have life. Oh, Negroes in jail. I know you was joking, but then I started thinking, I was like, what was an inspirational Black movie that I seen Hidden Figures? It wasn't a horrible movie. I only watched it because of Kevin Costner. I like that dude. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, Kevin Costner in this mug. I gotta watch it.
Not for the Black women, but for the white men.
I like Kevin Costner. He makes good movies. Tom Hanks make good movies. I mean, you. It's like I'm a Laker fan, but I hated Kobe. You know what I mean? But I haven't watched basketball since he passed away. So you know, it's you watch for particular people. You know, everybody has their actors or whatever that they follow.
So at the time when you were watching that movie that you said it wasn't bad, did you say, oh, this is against Black boys?
I did say, where are all the men? We all know that women. Hold on. We all know that women are vastly not in the STEM programs. Like, we know that percentage is like under 10%. So if they were the entire 10%, like, where are the men That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They couldn't have had. They couldn't have had one brother in there, with an alchemist or something like, like doing 2 + 2 or something.
All right, let me answer y'all question, okay? Because I want y'all to keep in mind as to who is this they, okay? Let's keep that in mind. And I want to answer this question. Thunder says, Demetri K, name the recent inspirational movie that is targeting young Black boys or Black men. I'll wait now. Name the inspirational movie for Black women. Here comes the laundry list. Prove me wrong. So as far as recent, I can't say anything recently, but Spike Lee has a whole catalog of movies about Black men. Malcolm X being one of them. But let's go back.
Spike Lee makes all garbage. Malcolm X was the only major movie he ever had. Everything else has been garbage. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, that's a matter of an opinion. But you asked me, that I was asked, and I'm telling you, there's a copious amount of movies about Black men. Get on the bus. I know that was a Spike Lee movie. Now I'm on. I can. There's
you can't say Spike Lee without saying she's got to have it.
Okay, right. But let me say this. I can't think of a whole lot off the top of my head. I'm sure once I get off of here, I will. But for y'all to say, and I guess you're trying to say, you know, there's an agenda against Black men in movies. Yeah, there probably is. But to say that about Hidden Figures or you know, or whatever, I just find that to kind of be odd, you know, especially Black America, since, you know, it doesn't sound like you saw that when you were watching it. You say you're pretty smart. Now, all of a sudden, here comes this narrative. I guess I'm just a little confused as to why a Black woman can't have a movie without y'all. I was going to say something. Without y'all, you know, what about us? Where's our movie? And
Black women have plenty of movies.
So let's go back to are they? Y'all talking about white people? Are you talking about Black people? And I also want to ask you who has more Black studios or who's directing more Black movies, Black men or Black women? Yeah, somebody said Ali. Somebody made a movie about Ali.
Well, I think Tyler Perry has a studio and Oprah has a studio, but we all know.
Oprah ain't got no studio no more.
What do you mean?
Listen here, Trina. Yes, come on with the receipts. Cuba.
No. Listen. But can we as men really say that? What you say that Medea boy? Can we say as men that he has ever been a manly man? We can't even claim him as a man. I'm sorry. Okay, we can't.
Okay, so I'm not going to get into whether Tyler Perry is gay or not. He has not said he is gay. And even if he was gay, he is still a man nevertheless. Okay, because on one hand, y'all double-tongued it is. Okay, on one hand, if a man put a wig on and said, I'm a woman, y'all sit up here and stand 10 toes down on it. You ain't a woman, you a man. So now all of a sudden, if Tyler Perry is gay, he ain't a man, knock it off, right? I could keep up with y'all nonsense, okay? But whether y'all feel he is a man or not, he is a man nevertheless. He has studios, and there's been a whole host of other Black directors. I know that Nate Parker, he makes movies for Black men, you know, and trust me, I know a lot of times the sisters do target him in his movies. I'm not oblivious to that. But again, back to my original question, how do we get our feelings hurt? When I say I mean y'all men. How do y'all get your feelings hurt about a movie about Black women and Hidden Figures? That baffles me. I'm a little bit concerned, scared almost.
I don't think anybody had their feelings hurt by it. The thing is, when we see these things, we say, it's no guys in this movie. I didn't go watch Wakanda Forever. It's not that I didn't go watch it because I don't like the beautiful Black women. They've had 10 Supermans. They've had 15 Batmans. If a superhero dies, all they do is recast the part. This superhero dies, a black man superhero dies, that was in a huge epic movie, and you put a bunch of girls in. That's not
Woman
okay. That's
King.
not right. The Woman King. That's not the way you do it. You know what? I'm gonna look for an inspirational black movie. I haven't seen one that every black man. Only thing that I could say that was a halfway positive movie for black men was the one with Will Smith where he had his kid and they was homeless. That was a good movie too.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
I'm taking it. Y'all didn't like Straight Outta Compton.
That's not that.
Yeah, we live that. Come on.
Right. Yeah. That's not an inspirational movie. That's not a feel good. That's not a feel good movie for all of us as a community.
How about I'm Not Your Negro?
James Baldwin.
Did y'all see that? That is
for one thing, nobody's watching stuff like that.
Okay, you
because
can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, come on.
no,
Man.
I'm just saying that was 100.
Hold
That
on.
was 100 years ago, and James Baldwin also was a Fruit Loop.
Nah, see, you know, Black America, I'm gonna flip you up off of here because you tripping. Yeah, you see, you do, what y'all do, y'all like to move the goalposts. Stop it. I'm telling y'all movies, that was about a Fruit Loop. That was about this. It's like, y'all gonna find it, y'all gonna find a way to be right, even when people are telling y'all there's copious amount of movies about black men. Now, it's not my fault that you did not see I Am Not Your Negro. I thought it was a good movie. James Baldwin is a very prolific figure in black history. And if you know anything about James Baldwin, and they're getting ready to make another movie about him. Okay, now Billy Porter's gonna play him. It's not a secret.
When are they gonna make an Ike Turner movie called I based on the I book that tells the truth about their relationship?
Let me direct that movie.
I'll star in it.
But y'all, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all moving the goalposts, but yeah.
You woman bashing again, Donovan. Don't do that. Don't woman bash up here. I had to get on you the other day about that, bro.
It's Guapo. How you doing? It says American St. Anna was garbage. Do the Right Thing was garbage. No, it's a matter of opinion, But were there men in that movie? I mean, I'm just asking. Let's see here. Block. It says black women got BET, VH1, Bravo, Griot channel, etc. What channels do black men have? Who said those were women channels? Y'all got Tubi. There's a lot of great acting on Tubi. I see a whole lot of black men on Tubi. Yeah, the Tuskegee Airmen. I mean, we could be here forever.
The Tuskegee Airmen, Red Tails. Red Tails was a great movie. But these are historical. What I'm saying is
42.
You talking about Jackie Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, but black people don't even play baseball anymore. Like we are such a minority in baseball. That's not moving the goalposts. We are such a minority in baseball that all of the color in baseball comes from a little island in the middle of the sea somewhere. But it's not a bad thing. All it is if you're going to represent one half, represent the other. Once again, I just feel, and you may not feel, that black men have had much more of an impact on the things in this country as far as cell phones, as far as the railroad, as far as the daggone super soaker. Black men have invented thousands of times more than what women have.
Who said you did?
Where's the movies? Where's the accolades? Okay, so we was talking about Harriet Tubman on the money. Now,
Rosewood.
third,
Rosewood was
third.
a damn good movie about a black man that saved a whole bunch of black people. Ving Rhames, you remember
That
that?
that was not uplifting. That was uplifting to you, seeing black people get slaughtered. Come on now.
Was it? Now, did I say it was uplifting? See, you just putting words in my mouth. Did you hear what?
Inspirational. We started off as inspirational.
Did you hear
I'm
what
not
I
getting.
said? Did you hear what I said? What did
You
I
said
say?
it was a good movie.
What did I say about the black man in the movie?
You say it was a good movie. He was a good person.
No, that's not
What did you
what I
say?
said. That's not.
Okay, so what
What
did
did
you
I
say?
say? What did no? Because see, I want y'all to stand 10 toes down or lying on me. What did I say?
Donovan, what did she say? Evidently, I didn't hear her.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention either. I was in the chat. I was in the chat.
What I said was,
Jesus.
I said Rosewood was about a black man that saved a lot of black people. That's what I said.
So that's inspirational to you?
Not saving black people.
That has any kind of an impact on the psyche of black men and children and women of something that happened because of some rednecks?
I'm gonna tell you right now, when I saw that movie, I went to the movies and at John Singleton. When I saw that movie, I went to the movies and saw it, and it was a hard movie to watch. But when I saw that black man come out of the woods, and rescue all those black women and children, that was inspirational to me, because the whole movie, and we know the story of what happened in a lot of our towns, but the whole movie, they show black people being slaughtered, with no end in sight, and it was nice to see a black man, it depicted in that way. So yeah, to me, that was inspirational. Now, if it wasn't that to you, that's your problem, not mine. Elton, how you doing? He said the problem is this: if the community does not go support it, the movie fails. Devotion movie should have been a blockbuster last year, but flopped. And I think Jonathan Majors was in that movie. That movie doesn't ring a bell for me. I guess I have to look into it.
Yeah, it was about the Korean War type guy, aviator in Korean War. But what was that movie we did a couple years ago? That should have, The Birth of a Nation, by the black director, and they canceled him.
Nate Parker. Yeah, Nate Parker. And that was a hit piece. We know it was a hit piece on the movie as far as it tanking. Black people should have saw that movie. I, as a black woman, I went to see the movie. Now I know it was a lot of sisters getting together with that white woman who accused him of doing something to her, which it was proven to not be true. He went to court and all that, and but there was white supremacy using a white woman, and a lot of black women jumped on board to help tank the movie. It's just the truth. So. I'm not gonna lie about that, but black people should have saw that movie, and you could still go see it, or stream it or whatever. It was a great movie. Let me skip on down here. Somebody said the harder they fall. That was a good movie. I like that movie because I like westerns. That was a really good movie. It had an all-star cast of a lot of people, but shoot, it was some dynamic men up in that.
No, the best movie ever. Which Way Is Up? Richard Pryor. You got to do it.
Wow. Our brother Simon says, concerning Trump and Biden being prosecuted, do you feel they will really prosecute any of them, or even intend to, or is it just political stuff fooling the masses out because prosecution is really only for blacks?
They are not going to prosecute the leader of their country. It would look bad for them, worldly and all that other stuff, because we out here telling all these other nations how great we are, and they should accept LGBTQ. They should be this. They should do that. We're going to sanction you because you don't accept LGBTQ, but we don't sanction Saudi Arabia that has the exact same law in effect. So it's going to crush the white myth. So they're not going to do it. They are not going to do it. They are waiting on Trump to die. Biden, he's practically there. They don't want to do it because they don't want this on legal books at all. They're going to find some way to exonerate it. And the problem is this: when they didn't hold Nixon accountable, that set in precedence in the United States that none of the chief executive officers of this country will ever be held accountable for what they do.
And I want to say this too. And I've seen a couple of people say this. Moo Bay, how you doing? Mo Woo Bay. Hope I said it right. He says, "Why are we always going against one another? My goodness!" And I'm gonna just keep it a buck. What was it, Tammy Love? I think you said this. It is always the men bringing up the gender divide.
No, that's not true. But go ahead. We both play a part in all of this BS that we're engaging.
We talk about right now.
Why is she back there laughing?
Go look at the chat. Go look at the chat.
Wait. I'm telling you what I've seen other people say, and I will say, yeah, I can agree that it seems like it's always the men bringing up. You know, when you say, yo, I ain't gonna say it. I'm not. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how did we get about how did Harriet Tubman get her black ass on the $20 bill before a black man?
Right, but how
she is very unattractive. Right, that is very unattractive.
How does that change into, oh, black men always want to be first? Black men, you know, why does it? Everybody plays a part in it. Everybody gets triggered by something. So nobody has any clean hands in any of this. Because, like I said, it was a question. Just answer the question. That's all. That's all there is to it. But there's going to be a woman that's going to answer, well, why this? If you look at this chat, there is more negative comments from women than there are men in this chat. That's a fact.
And 30, you asked me, DK, really what straight man is really watching those channels? I don't watch TV, so I had no idea that BET, VH1, and the Griot or whatever other channels was just for women. I know they have a Lifetime for women, which it seems like a lot of men watch too. But I didn't know those channels were specifically for women. So like I said, I don't even have TV. I don't have the ability. I have TV, but I don't have cable. I don't have the ability to even watch that stuff. So I don't know who is watching that stuff. So I don't. That's not intel that I'm privy to. OG Patricia says Sidney Poitier, James Earl Jones, Harry Belafonte, Paul Robeson. Yeah, they were all major leading men. So I just, to me, this is just kind of just gone to a silly season. Burgers and Fries, how you doing? Say black women support black men's endeavors. I would say for the most part we do. You know, let's see here. Powerful Empress says, where we taking this at? Let's see. I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Your average logical thinker says, but you just said you don't want to watch history or so. Shut the oh wow. Talking to Black America. Shut the F up, bro. Sound hypocritical and ignorant. Let me see here. Rex, how you doing? It says, please don't point at all of us for this, brother. The rest of us see the movie we're in. Yeah, I'm like, now y'all just being, and I appreciate that because it's at this point it's just really silly to say, well, you know, what movies was black men in? It's like, what y'all been living under a rock? Because a black woman got a movie because she's mathematically inclined. Now all of a sudden it's, you know, well, how come the black man wasn't in the movie? I said she had a black husband. They had a few black husbands in the movie. And that wasn't, to, you know, to denigrate them, but damn.
Oh, okay. So can I say something? Because of that comment that the other person made. I love history. Like, I am a super history buff. Definitely love cowboys. I just went and spent a whole week in Kansas City where Wyatt Earp was the sheriff. Like for real. Like, I love history. I love cowboy things. The movie, The Harder They Fall. If you look at the actual history of the movie, none of it was historically accurate. So that's the problem when it comes to the things. If it's not historically accurate, it doesn't matter because it turns into bullcrap, and then you can't believe what they're putting out to you. So if you guys are watching something, oh, The Harder They Fall, oh, that was cool. That's how everything was. That's not how any of it was. And you guys need to know the actual history of the actual people because they were all real people, but the movie was totally a farce for real.
Like, so I wasn't even under the impression that it was real. You know what I mean? But I thought we were talking about being inspired. But you know, who am I? So anyway, we're gonna get on out of here. God knows we could be here all day. Donovan has to go be responsible uncle. Maxima, how you doing? And hello to everybody that's on here. We didn't get to your comment. Somebody said Dolo might not. Come on now. Come on with it. Do you get the Mac? Iconic. Iconic. Dynamite. There you go.
But then we might as well put Step and Fetch It up there then too.
First black millionaire actor in the United States history of America was a black man by the name of Lincoln Perry, also known as Step and Fetch It. Shut your mouth. Now Flip Wilson, the first black man in modern day cinema to dress like a woman.
And had superstar status in the early 70s.
Right, Geraldine, you know what I mean? So, of course, I'm just playing because I know somebody gonna get on here talking about Demetra tripping. As somebody would say, somebody I used to know, demasculating black men. I'm not on here demasculating black men. It's all in fun, you guys. I enjoy doing this, you guys. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Love and appreciate y'all. Of course, I'm sure it's going to be even more bullcocking tomorrow with Walter on Wealth Wednesdays with Walter. We will be live. See y'all then. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.